what does this show have to get right? This has to get the most important thing right, and that is the family aspect of this show. This is What's going on, everyone? My Epictastic Nation. Welcome back to the channel. It is Joshua Drake of Epictastic Joshua. If you are a returning member, if you are a new member, consider hitting the subscribe button and such. And welcome back for all of you. So, this is Epictastic Joshua. I talk movies, TV, music, and anime, and I'm giving you guys my thoughts on another TV series, and this is for the Really Loud House. This is based on the classic Loud House TV series of the same name, created by Chris Savino, and this is the live action spin-off which ran from November 2022 to November last year. And this stars a lot of actors here, including Wolfgang Schaefer, Jose Bruno, Eva Carlton, Lexi Di Benedetto, Catherine Ashmore Bradley, Sophia Woodward, Annika Forenet, Mia and Ellen Allen, Brian Stepanek, Jolie Jenkins, and Auburn Bradley. Pretty much it's the same thing as you see in the animated kids show. This portrays Lincoln as a 12-year-old surviving in a house full of 10 sisters, where chaos typically reigns. Lincoln also journeys on adventures with his best friend, Clyde McBride, through the town of Woodward, Michigan. Going into this show, when I heard that they were doing a TV show version in live action after A Loud House Christmas, I was actually curious to see how this would turn out. But I was a little concerned because I am a fan of the original Loud House TV series, and if anything, this could have gone really bad. So I wanted to just hold my collective breath and held my pessimism aside until I saw the official show and see what they were going to cook up. And now, having seen the full-fledged show and how it turned out, between 2 seasons and 2 of the movies like A Loud House Christmas and Really Haunted Loud House, I can confidently say this was a great show all the way through. Now, to start off with the positives, of course, what does this show have to get right? This has to get the most important thing right, and that is the family aspect of the show. This is a show that I think, if you didn't get the family aspect down, I don't think the show would have worked as good as it did for me. Because I went into this with some pretty tempered expectations, but I was also pretty interested to see how they could do the family. And seeing how they do the family in this show, I think is actually really good. They get it down packed to its essence, and I very much really appreciate that. I very much love the fact that they just chose that to make sure you stay true to what is being seen in the show, but they also just said, we're going to make sure that this is a very entertaining enough show to make it work. And that is the thing I really did like a lot when it comes to it. It had to get it down to its essence, and had to make sure it was a show that knew what it was. And I really did enjoy a lot of what this has to offer in terms of the TV series. It committed to its goal, and it committed to what you were saying. Now, it didn't try to be something that is not as hard as it plays, and I very much like the fact that they just kept the spirit of the show in there through and through. And that is what I really love the most about it. The heart of the show is in the right place. They get the tone right. They keep moments of comedy that works from the show, but they also do enough to make sure it branches out and be its own thing. And this is one thing I always say when it comes to a remake or an adaptation or something. You can be as loyal as possible, but it never really hurts to try and be your own thing. So I really enjoyed a lot of what this had to go for. show. They really did put a lot of effort and they put a lot of commitment into what you were getting, and I just really enjoyed a lot of what they said that this was going to be. And that for me is what really works the most about this really loud house show. It delivers a lot on what you're definitely getting for. It's colorful a lot. I do love a lot of things that's colorful about the show. And each of the episodes, some episodes were more better than others, but there were some I actually thought justified themselves and kept it interesting and kept it fun. So they definitely just did everything right that should have been a lot more fun. And I sat there and I was really enjoying it. There's a lot of fun moments that was just so entertaining to watch. There are some episodes I wasn't a big fan of, but that didn't really bother me as much because I was so invested into everything that was going on in the show. For all 39 episodes, it was entertaining, it kept the pace going, and it was just a very fun, satisfying feat to watch, to see what the creators of the show and to see what they could do with this. But I think easily the thing that holds this show together is the cast. Now, there's just way too many people for me to try and talk about, but I'm gonna name off all the actors and then I will pick at least 4 or 5 of my favorites in this cast. We have Wolfgang Schaefer as Lincoln Loud, Jazier Bruno as Clyde McBride, Eva Carlton as Lenny Loud, Lexi DiBenedetto as Lori, Sophia Woodward as Luna, Catherine Auburn Bradley as Luann and Lucy Loud, Annika Forenet plays Lynn Loud Jr., Lexi Janicek plays Lisa Loud, Ella Allen and Mia Allen plays Lana and Lola Loud, Jolie Jenkins and Brian Stupanik plays Rita and Lynn Loud Sr. So it's a lot of actors in this show, of course. You also have the boyfriend of Lori, and you also have Lincoln's crush, and Sajana Rajagopalan. There's just a lot of people to name in the show, and all of them really understood the assignment. They all was all on the same page, and they really just brought the heart and the soul of the characters out of it. And I very much really enjoy a lot of what they were bringing into it. And if they didn't respect the characters, this would not be as good as it is. Of course, they're reprising their role from the show with a few casting changes made, like Moretta Moss and, of course, Dora Dolphin getting recasted. You also have Lynn Loud Jr. being recasted, of course, which in the original first TV movie was Morgan McGill. So there's a lot of recasting, but I would say everyone did a very strong job in what they could get there, and I very much like a lot of what they brought to it. But I will go through some of my favorites. It's not gonna be 10, I will promise. I'm gonna go through some of them. Wolfgang Schaefer and Jazier Bruno as Lincoln and Clyde. These both guys, they do a very great job at giving us a great friendship that you buy into, that is just as true as it is to the cartoon. And through the worst times and through the good times, you can tell they have a very great passion and care for each other. And I thought both of them did a really strong job in what they were given. They just crafted a lot of the more interesting parts, and I very much enjoyed what they had to go for. I did like the performances, and they committed. I very much have fun with them in here. So those are 2 of my standouts. Another standout for me easily is Lexi DiBenedetto as Lori Loud. She has, once again, she's great. I love her. She gets this character down. Like, she's the eldest daughter, but this time she's off to college and she's going off there and living her life. But I thought she did a really strong job in what she was given, and I very much thought that she was entertaining. and just as good as she was in her last effort as Miss Lori Loud. She was fantastic, and I thought she was great. She was awesome, and throughout the series, she really got it down, and she really committed to a lot of what she had to go through. And so I really enjoyed her. Another standout here is that we have Catherine Ashmore Bradley as Luann Loud. She's a comedic sister, and her and Mr. Coconuts gave me a lot of the best laughs. She has to do a lot and work her butt off to play Luann Loud, between the braces and also having to hold Mr. Coconuts a lot throughout this. And I just had a lot of fun laughing at her. I do want to see what else she does more in the future. She was fantastic in, and so was Aubrey Bradley, which is her sister, is Lucy Loud, which she's definitely one of the best parts. So far you have Jazira Bernard, Wolfgang Schaefer, Lexi DiBenedetto, and Catherine Ashmore Bradley as 4 of my standouts here. But she really committed to the game. Another standout, which this is the one I really want to talk about, because she's honestly, besides Lincoln and Lori and some of the other characters, my favorite addition. Who am I talking about? We know I'm going for this. Eva Carlton as Lenny Loud. Now, she has to play an airhead type character, and she does take over for Dora Dolphin, but she is the one with the most fashion, and she is the older sister. And I'll say this, Eva Carlton nailed this character down to its essence. Like, between getting the voice right and the mannerisms right, and she really just brought her A game here. She's very fashionable, she's very likable, and she has a lot of charisma to her. She has so much energy and quick timing in terms of her comedic moments that I really thought she did a very great job. I mean, I'm like, if this is how Amy Rose is gonna be, or if she plays someone like that, or Rogue, or any other character in a franchise, or even a smaller scale movie, Eva Carlton is gonna sell it, and she really does sell it in this. There are some great homages with some of the costumes, some of the fashion styles that she wears, but especially when she's homaging Legally Blonde, which that was pretty cool in the episode where it's kind of like Court, but I thought that was really hilarious of her that she did that, and she really did a very strong job. So she was easily the standout character besides all the other 4 I just mentioned. The rest of the other girls as well is very good too. Sophia Woodward is Luna Loud. She is a musician, and yes, she is a character who is part of a certain community, but like Amy and Booksmart and like other characters from that community or people from that community, you can be interesting and have something to you. So that's why I also really quite enjoy it. And she does a very great job. Sophia Woodward is awesome as that character. Annika Forenet as Lynn Loud Jr. I thought was very good. She's very athletic, and she has a lot of fun in the role. You also have Ella and Mia Allen as Lola and Lana Loud. They are just very entertaining to watch. And for real life twins, they did a very good job. Lexi Janicek is Lisa Loud. She is the gifted scientist, but I thought she did a really good job as well. And so did the parents, Jolie Jenkins and Brian Stepanek. They did a very good job. So everyone in this cast did a very good job in this, having to commit to what is essentially a live action version of this series. And I think if it hadn't been for them being as good as they are, whether some of the episodes were entertaining or not, I don't think it would have worked as well. I will also say the directing in the show, the cinematography and the editing and the music and the way that each episode is 22 minutes minus a musical to remember and the 2 TV movies, they committed to it. Each of the episodes I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun watching, and by the time it got to that last episode, I was just really interested, and I very much loved a lot with everything. So that was actually pretty awesome and pretty cool. I will say I just have a few issues when it comes to this show. Like I said, some episodes I like more than others, and some didn't really pander out as much for me as some. There are some episodes where I thought were either okay or I didn't really love as much. There's one episode in this final season that was a little annoying, but I was still able to go along with it and just enjoy myself for what it was and just really have a lot of fun doing it. Also, I wanted to see a little bit more of Lexi DiBenedetto's Lori Loud. Now, she is in college, of course, so she does get to visit, but I do really thought that she could have had a little bit more. The second to last episode, the series finale, while I enjoyed it here, it did feel like that they did have more to give. I understand some of the actors were aging, and also they had a strike that appended them. So, of course, they did have to run into this problem with the show. But it just felt like we could have at least got one more season before Netflix decided to just end it unceremoniously. But those are really my only real gripes. Because overall, The Really Loud House was a good show that was fun from beginning to end, and I quite enjoyed myself with this. Is it one of the greatest TV shows you'll ever see? No, but I would say for a TV series based on a show that I already liked, which I didn't really, it took some time to get into it first when I first started watching the cartoon version. I will say that this live action series, for its 2 seasons and 2 movies, worked enough for me. I loved the characters, I liked the performances, it kept the show down to its essence, and despite a few issues of this, I can definitely really come out and say that this was just a very solid, entertaining little episode and adventure. I really quite enjoyed it. So that is how you do a TV show that people really enjoy, and I very much had a lot of fun watching it. So if you are a fan of The Loud House, I'd recommend this, but if you are not, you probably won't like this, but I would still suggest checking it on Paramount Plus, or you can get a physical copy, or watch reruns of it on Nickelodeon, and give it a fair chance. I did, and I'm glad I had an enjoyable time. Well, that's going to do it for the video that you just watched. If you want to see more, my channel icon is up here. If you want to see more content from me, all my social medias are right here in this end card. I will also leave a playlist and a video here for you to see what the channel is about. As always, acknowledge me, stay epictastic, join the epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.